When you think about a massive medical conference like the big Asco meeting, a single presentation can literally change a company's entire future. But here's the catch. There are thousands of them happening, often all at once. So today, we're going to talk about how you cut through all of that noise to find the critical signals that give you a real competitive edge.
I want you to picture this. You're dropped into a sea of thousands of different presentations. The one piece of data that could completely revolutionize your strategy is being presented right now in one of these rooms. And guess what? Your competitors are right there with you, hunting for that exact same insight. So the big question is, how do you make sure you find it first?
Well, here's the hard truth. For most companies, trying to do this internally isn't just a challenge. It's pretty much operationally impossible. The scale is just way too massive for an internal team that, let's be honest, already has a full-time job. So let's really dig into this core challenge, what we call the conference overload. This is the fundamental reality of trying to stay ahead in modern science. We are talking about a total fire hose of information. I mean, thousands of abstracts, presentations, and poster sessions, and so many of them are happening at the exact same time. And buried somewhere in that absolute deluge is the one piece of intelligence you desperately need.
Yeah, and finding that intelligence, it's so much more than just showing up and taking notes, right? It's a full-on operation. It starts way before the event with super detailed planning. Then, on the ground, it means being in multiple places at once, capturing that raw data, and, this is key, immediately talking to experts to figure out what it actually means. And you're doing all of this while trying to synthesize it and feed it back to your leadership in real time. It's a lot.
So how on earth do you tackle a problem this big? Well, you don't start when the conference doors open. You start weeks, sometimes months before. The first part of the solution is all about crafting the perfect game plan.
The whole goal here is a total transformation. You're not just trying to survive a data tsunami, you're building a system to turn that giant wave into a laser-focused stream of intelligence. It's all about shifting from being reactive and completely overloaded to being proactive and truly strategic.
Okay, so here's how that transformation actually begins. First, you extract every single relevant session. You pull everything. Then comes the most critical step, segmentation. You classify every session based on its strategic importance. Is it a major competitor? Is the data totally new? This lets you allocate your most valuable resource, your team on the ground, to only, and I mean only, the sessions that matter most. All right, once that game plan is locked and loaded, the action moves to the conference floor. This is where all that intense preparation really pays off, letting your team capture that critical intelligence as it happens, in real time.
Now, during these high-priority sessions, the focus is absolutely surgical. Teams are documenting the nitty-gritty details, the specific design of a trial, the crucial efficacy and safety numbers, and even those subtle little hints about a competitor's future plans. Every single detail is a critical piece of a much larger puzzle.
But here's the thing. Raw data on its own is, well, it's kind of flat. It tells you what happened, but it doesn't tell you why it's a big deal. That's where talking to key opinion leaders, the KOLs, the top experts in the field, is absolutely essential. They give you the context. They explain why a certain data point is a huge breakthrough, or why a competitor's strategy is probably going to fall flat. It's the difference between just knowing a fact and actually understanding its impact. And this is so important. None of this is random. Every interview, every note that's taken is structured to answer a predefined set of key intelligence questions, or KIQs. This makes sure that every single piece of information gathered isn't just, oh, that's interesting. No, it's directly relevant and, most importantly, actionable.
So, after all this meticulous planning and real-time execution, what's the ultimate result? What's the payoff? Well, it's all about turning that mountain of data into decisive action.
The first huge payoff is speed. Instead of getting blindsided by a competitor's big news weeks after the fact, you're assessing the threat and the opportunity in real time, while the conference is still going on. This lets you shift from a delayed reaction to an immediate, proactive response.
And that speed, it translates directly into power for your leadership. Your senior executives aren't just sitting around waiting for a report, they're getting a live feed of business-critical updates. This empowers them to make the big calls on pipeline priorities, partnerships, or where to put resources, right on the spot with the freshest intelligence possible. And the value doesn't just stop when the conference ends. The final piece of the puzzle is a comprehensive intelligence portfolio.
Think of it as a strategic asset that gives you a complete, organized picture of the entire competitive landscape.
And when we say portfolio, we are not just talking about a slide deck. This thing is packed. It's got detailed documentation of all the key presentations, clear timelines of competitive threats, and that priceless context from the expert interviews. And best of all, it delivers a strategic synthesis with clear, actionable recommendations that directly answer those initial key questions.
So when you put all of these elements together, the meticulous pre-planning, the surgical real-time capture, and the insightful post-conference analysis, the result isn't just a better set of notes. It's the ultimate competitive edge.
Ultimately, the strategic advantage really boils down to this. You gain world-class intelligence in synthesis without having to pull your own critical internal teams away from their core jobs. It's all about leveraging specialized expertise to get a level of insight that's just impossible to achieve on your own. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. In a landscape this competitive, every single advantage matters. So the real question isn't if there are amazing opportunities hidden in the noise of the next big conference, but whether you'll have the strategy in place to be the one to find them.